with Big E's injury potentially being a career ender and more. This is Wrestling Hub. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report for March 13th. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official, and also follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. Wally used to be active as an in-ring competitor during his days on NXT, and before, Corey Graves was forced to retire due to concussions in 2014. With him since serving as a color commentator for the company, it's been confirmed that Graves is cleared to make a return to action. On Wrestling, Graves touched on making a return to the ring, saying, "That was kind of the one missing piece of the puzzle was, man, I still never got that official WWE match, the pay-per-view match. I got to do the live event tours when I was still with NXT, so I got a taste of it there, and I fell off the cliff before I got to make the jump. It's just something that's kind of been eating at me for the last particularly year or so. Seeing Christian come back and seeing Edge come back and Daniel Bryan a few years prior, it always made me wonder, what if? Would I be able to do that? So I went and started the whole testing protocol last summer, almost right after WrestleMania last year. I went through and passed all the tests. Recalling his time in WWE while speaking to Metro UK, Bryan Danielson revealed his tag team run with Kane helped him become a WrestleMania main eventer. I think that period was actually the making of Daniel Bryan. As far as a WrestleMania main eventer, that period was perfect for me because it gave me a chance to show some character and be entertaining, all that kind of stuff. But then we would go in the ring against the Shield. It would allow me to highlight some of my strengths in those tag matches, just being a ball of fire and then burn to the ground essentially. With AEW president Tony Khan recently acquiring Ring of Honor, Booker T took to his Hall of Fame podcast to express doubt over Khan booking ROH as well as AEW. Well, I don't understand the idea of Tony Khan saying he's going to book the shows at ROH, because you've already got a company over here. Why would you want to do something like that, first of all? There again, it's just going to be us doing shows. Why do something like that when you've got a company over here that does shows? I don't get it. I don't understand it. But maybe here in the future, we will all know exactly what the hell is going on. The ROH Super Card of Honor event will be taking place next month, and that will reportedly be booked by Khan. Following his contract expiring last month, Cesaro and WWE could not come to terms on a new deal, which means he's a free agent. Of course, many are excited for the future of the Swiss Superman, and while talking to DallasNews.com, Sheamus noted that his former tag team partner is hungrier than ever. Honestly, when we started, Cesaro was like an acquaintance. When we started the bar, we became brothers. I just saw him last week when I was staying in Florida. We stay in touch all the time. Legacy-wise, I think he's one of the greatest I've ever stepped in the ring with. I never had to worry about anything. He made me a better wrestler, better performer just by tagging with him. To me, he'll always be one of the greatest. I think no matter what he does or where he goes, he'll be a massive success. He's a huge asset to anybody who picks him up. I always believed the guy would be WWE champion. That's never off the cards because people have left and come back. But I think that whoever snaps up Cesaro is going to have a major talent on their hands. And I think he's got a lot left in him as well. I saw him the other day. I was over at his house and he's built a whole brand new gym. It's amazing. He's still lifting weights like a lunatic. He still trains like a lunatic. He's as hungry now as he's ever been. I'm just excited to see him back in the ring, mate. But that will be whenever he's ready to get back in there, which I think is great as well. Sometimes we need a little time away from the bubble to get our head back together, and then just refocus, go back in and kill it again. So I'm not worried about him one bit in the slightest. During an interview with NBC5 Chicago, WWE 24/7 champion Dana Brooke was asked which celebrity she'd like to face during her title reign as she responded, "Since now Kanye is in the midst of everything right now, I think it would be awesome to show him who is the boss, that women run the world. So I would like to defend this title against Ye, as he calls himself these days, Oprah. Ever since I was a young girl, I used to watch Oprah all the time. She speaks on what I speak about, women empowerment and showing that women can do everything. So it would be great if she won the 24/7 title from me, and I definitely capitalize on it and win it back from her." Talking about up-and-coming stars on After the Bell, Lita revealed that Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan could handle headlining a card in WWE. "I got to be more backstage at Raw working with Becky leading up to it. I will say that 3 women that I am like, oh, we are just getting started seeing where these women can go are Dewdrop, Liv Morgan, and Rhea Ripley. I think all 3 of those women have had these little moments and these little opportunities, but we're just scratching the surface there on what they can do to be players and viable stars headlining cards in years to come. Ripley and Morgan are in a tag team and recently defeated the women's tag champs Zelina Vega and Carmella on Raw, so we'll have to see if they can win the straps." Rey Mysterio has been going strong in the pro wrestling business since 1989, but could be looking to retire in the near future. Despite injuries over his career, Rey has been able to perform at a high level, as he told Complex how he's increased his longevity. "They've been feeling really good. I started this treatment, which I've been doing since roughly around 2012, with stem cells. I did a very large treatment on my full body in 2019 in Colombia, and that has been my fountain of youth. It's been helping me tremendously. Obviously, my knee has been my worst problem throughout my career. Thank God and knock on wood, my back and my neck have always been stable. I've had 2 torn biceps, 1 on each arm. I have carpal tunnel syndrome in both hands. But this stem cell treatment has given me more years of longevity, more years to be able to do what I love and share special moments with my son in the ring. It's given me the opportunity to keep doing what I do best. I've learned throughout the years how to adapt and make things exciting for my fans, so I can still be Rey Mysterio, but not putting so much pressure on my body. I go back and watch a lot of old videos just trying to study how I ended up with so many knee injuries, especially on the left one, because my right one is surgery free, but I've learned to adjust how to make things exciting. I don't do things that I know are going to hurt me, but I can still do things that keep fans up on their feet." With Ronda Rousey back in action for WWE, Kurt Angle told the Zaslow show that he was shocked how quickly the former UFC champion picked up pro wrestling psychology. She is, but she picked up on the theatrics of it as well. You know, there's a lot of emotion and psychology involved in pro wrestling that she picked up pretty quickly, that I was really surprised. I mean, she is a world-class athlete, nothing wrong with that. You definitely want a world-class athlete in professional wrestling, but to be able to pick up the character and the psychology, that is really tough to do, especially as quickly as she did. Talking about Rousey's upcoming match against Charlotte Flair, Angle said, "I follow it as much as I can. I don't watch every show every week, but I'm excited about the WrestleMania card. I think that Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair are going to steal the show. I really do believe that. Ronda has picked up the business quicker than anybody I know, and Charlotte Flair is one of the greatest to ever do it. I'm talking like even better than her father, so I'm expecting them to steal the show." After taking a suplex on SmackDown that led to him landing on his head, Big E would be stretchered out of the arena and taken to a hospital. While he was initially told his neck was broken, Big E would update fans noting that he will not be needing surgery and that he has fractured vertebrae. Talking about his injury, former WWE physician Dr. David Cho said this injury could still spell the end for his career. The C1 fracture is the most dangerous, as the top cervical vertebrae is a ring and is commonly associated with immediate death or complete paralysis. Thankfully, the fracture was not displaced, and he will not need surgery. However, this type of fracture often heals incompletely, and it may mean the end of his wrestling career. The C6 fracture is likely a compression injury to the vertebral body. This likely requires immobilization, but not surgery. One would anticipate a minimum of 3-month recovery with return to full function and activities for this lower cervical injury. Previously, I had worked regularly with WWE as a consulting physician for events and performing surgery. I can assure you the stunts that are executed are real and come with risk, even though some consider the sport to be fake. Previously, it had been reported that Scott Hall suffered a hip injury due to a fall, as he would be rushed to the hospital and have surgery. Unfortunately, Hall is now on life support after suffering 3 heart attacks according to PW Torch. It was noted that there were complications from the hip procedure as a blood clot got loose. Of course, we wish Hall all the best during this time and hope he's able to make a full recovery. On his podcast, Ric Flair was asked for his thoughts on Buddy Matthews given his recent signing with AEW. Flair responded, "I have a special place for Buddy Murphy. I like Buddy Murphy a lot. I think that he's a better, and I used to tell him, you're better than Seth Rollins. Remember when they were together? I used to say that to him. Don't ever take a back seat to him. You're better. But, you know, I'm obnoxious in the way I handle things sometimes. I said it in the room with Seth right there. He's a talented kid. Watch him work. He's talented as hell." Recalling the advice given to him from Triple H, Damian Priest told Vibe in Wrestling, "I want to see the person I'm seeing here in the ring. When you're between the ropes, you're playing the role of a wrestler, but I don't want that. I want to see someone else. When you learn to be yourself, you will have an amazing career." When he told me that, I didn't understand because I thought, how is that? How are you telling me that I don't know how to be myself? Until one day, I realized what he was saying, and I understood everything. I don't know why, but it's hard to be yourself in front of the camera, because it changes the way you talk, the way you walk, everything. And the day came when I realized and began to enjoy myself. After a calf injury in January, Xavier Woods would be out of action, but he made a return at a live event in Mississippi last night, taking part in a triple threat match with Kofi Kingston and Woods facing the Usos as well as Rich Holland and Sheamus. Holland, Sheamus, and Pete Dunne were set to face the New Day at WrestleMania 38 before the situation with Big E's neck. And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.